Hello and welcome to ChemBlooms. Today let us learn about SN2 reactions. SN2 stands for substitution nucleophilic bimolecular reactions. All these reactions are concerted reactions as they take place only in a single step. So they are known as concerted reactions. So if we take an example of alkyl halide, this is an alkyl halide, a carbon, and Lg stands for leaving group. So alkyl halides undergo SN2 reactions. That too, generally primary alkyl halides undergo faster SN2 reactions. So what happens in this case is, this is the nucleophile. Nu minus stands for nucleophile where it is able to donate its electron pair. And this is the center carbon to which leaving group is attached. Now as this bond is polar between the carbon and the leaving group attains partial negative and the carbon attains partial positive charge. Now the leaving group is lost with the negative charge. Simultaneously the nucleophile is attacking onto the carbon from the backside. So in this reaction we come across the simultaneous attack of the nucleophile onto the carbon, thereby displacing the leaving group. So here you can see the product formed where the nucleophile has attacked from the backside and there is a new sigma bond formed between the carbon and the nucleophile with the loss of this leaving group. Now this reaction proceeds by it is taking place only in one step. Now if we look at the mechanism of this reaction, in this you can see we come across only the transition state where the nucleophile is attacking onto the carbon, simultaneous loss of leaving group is taking place. That means this is the bond which is to be broken between the carbon and the leaving group, and a new bond is going to be formed between the carbon and the incoming nucleophile. Now this is nothing but a transition state. It's shown here in this way. So the bond breaking and the bond making both occur simultaneously. So this transition state where the carbon, you can see it is bonded to 5 groups. These are the 3 groups which are present on the carbon as it is. And this is a partial bond breaking, and here it is partial bond making. So a single transition state is seen in this SN2 reactions. There are no intermediates formed in SN2 reactions. So all the single step reactions, we don't come across any intermediates. So no intermediates are formed in SN2 reactions. We come across only a transition state, that too a single transition state. So as it is a single step reaction, the rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of the nucleophile as well as the alkyl halide. So we can write rate is equal to K into concentration of the nucleophile as well as the concentration of the alkyl halide. So as this step, two species are involved, that is the nucleophile and the alkyl halide. It is following a second order kinetics and it is a bimolecular reaction. Why bimolecular? Because two molecules are involved, that is the nucleophile and the alkyl halide. So SN2 reactions are concerted reactions where only a single transition state is seen. Then if you look at the example of ethyl chloride. So ethyl chloride, where the bromide ion is the attacking group. So you can see here bromide ion attacks onto the carbon from the backside. Chloride ion is lost and it gives rise to bromoethane as a product. The energy profile diagram of this reaction is, these are the reactants, the nucleophile and the alkyl group, alkyl halide, where they have to attain certain activation energy which is very high, and at this level we can see the transition state where the carbon on which both bond breaking and bond making is simultaneously shown with the help of this transition state, and it is a very unstable state So therefore, it gives rise to the products which are more stable. In this reaction, the stereochemistry involves, that is, always the attack should take place from the backside. That means it should be around 180 degrees to that of the leaving group. So bond breaking and bond making simultaneously can be shown in the transition state. So as I said, SN2 reaction is considered. Now if we take different types of alkyl halides, such as CH3, here it is alkyl group, we are taking it as methyl. This is ethyl, isopropyl, and tertiary butyl group. Now, what happens in these different types of alkyl groups? So, always primary alkyl halides will react faster when compared to secondary, and then comes the tertiary. So, when the nucleophile has to attack onto this carbon, there is no steric hindrance because it can easily attack from the backside. Suppose if the nucleophile has to attack at this carbon, it has to go through the steric hindrance from that of the methyl group. So the methyl group will not allow the nucleophile to approach onto the CH2 group. Whereas in this isopropyl also, as the carbon is attached to two methyl groups, even here the nucleophile cannot easily come and approach onto this carbon, and therefore the reaction will be slow. Even in the tertiary butyl group, as the carbon is surrounded by by three methyl groups, the nucleophile will find very difficult to come and attack onto this carbon. So that is the reason tertiary are very slow in reaction. So the reactivity order is methyl, then comes ethyl faster, then isopropyl and tertiary alkyl groups. And these SN2 reactions, they proceed with strong nucleophiles. So strong nucleophiles are those which are having negative charge, such as methoxide ion, cyanide ion, azide ion, hydroxy ion. And all the SN2 reactions, they are favored by polar aprotic solvents. So they are polar, but they are aprotic, that is, they do not give up the proton. So the examples of such solvents are acetone, DMSO, it stands for dimethyl sulfoxide, acetonitrile, DMF stands for dimethyl formamide. So these are polar aprotic solvents. They are polar, but they do not dissolve, that is, they dissolve the substrate and the nucleophile, but they do not participate in hydrogen bonding with the nucleophile. So SN2 reactions, they proceed when there is a strong nucleophile, and also they are favored by polar aprotic solvents. Stereochemistry of SN2 reaction. So as I said, it is the attack takes place from the opposite side, nucleophile attacking the carbon exactly 180 degrees opposite to that of the leaving group. So it is nothing but it will give rise to a product where inversion of configuration is seen. So this inversion of configuration, we call it as Walden inversion. So when we take an example of asymmetric carbon, suppose in the next example, the asymmetric carbon, this is the carbon. So chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon is a carbon where there are four different groups attached to that carbon. So here we have chlorine, ethyl group, methyl, hydrogen. So this is an asymmetric carbon, and the leaving group is chloride ion. Attacking nucleophile is SH minus, sulfhydryl anion. Now it has to come from the back side, as it cannot approach from the front side because there will be a repulsion between the two nucleophiles. So always attacks from the back side, where the loss of chloride ion will give rise to this product, which is an inverted product. So this is Walden inversion which is taking place. What is Walden inversion? It is nothing but it is just visualizing or imagining an umbrella turned upside down when you go out in a strong winds or in a gale. So this is the carbon. Consider this is an asymmetric carbon, chiral carbon with 4 different groups. And green one is the leaving group. Now the red has to come and attack onto the chiral center. This is the transition state where the loss of green and the new bond being formed between the carbon and the red one. Now you can see the complete loss of the green ball, that is green group, is lost, and then the new bond is formed between the red group and the carbon. So it is nothing but similar to an umbrella. This is an umbrella, suppose. Now when you go out in a strong wind, what happens? It becomes upside down and it will give rise to this shape. So that is nothing but Walden inversion. So in all the SN2 reactions, we come across the inversion of configuration. And if we just look at the three-dimensional picture of SN2 reactions. So S stands for substitution reaction involving a nucleophile with 2 species involved in the slowest. So that is the thing but the rate determining step. Now assume that this is a ethyl bromide. It is CH3CH2Br and the attacking nucleophile is hydroxide ion. So this is oxygen, red color one is oxygen, this white one is H with a negative charge. So this hydroxide ion has to attack onto the carbon here from the backside to that of the leaving group. Now you can see that it is slowly approaching the carbon from the backside. So even in the energy profile diagram, you can see it is attaining an activation energy and it reaches this point where it is a transition state complex is formed. So bond making, bond breaking, you can see in the three-dimensional picture. Then after attainment of this transition state complex, slowly the bromide ion, that is the leaving group, is released and then final bond, sigma bond, is formed between the oxygen and the carbon. So both the reactants approaching each other, then attaining a transition state complex which is an unstable. So it dissociates where the bromide ion is lost and the product is formed. Now let us compare SN1 and SN2 reactions. So as we know that SN1 they are unimolecular reactions because in the rate determining step only one molecule is involved, that is substrate. It means that is alkyl halide. The rate of the reaction depends only upon the concentration of the alkyl halide. Whereas in SN2 reactions, the rate depends upon the concentration of nucleophile and the alkyl halide. Then in SN1 reaction, it depends upon that is only one intermediate is formed, that is the carbocation. So the speed of the SN1 reaction depends upon the stability of the carbocation. So if we look at the different types of carbocations, tertiary carbocation is more stable when compared to secondary and then primary. So the reactivity order of alkyl halide will be tertiary alkyl halide, they react faster, then comes secondary in SN1 reactions. Whereas in SN2 reactions, primary alkyl halide undergo faster reaction compared to secondary. Then the nucleophile used in SN1 reactions are weak, whereas for SN2 we require strong nucleophiles. The solvents required in SN1 are polar protic solvents such as alcohols, whereas in SN2 reactions polar aprotic solvents are used such as DMSO and acetone. And the final point is stereochemistry. So as we know that in SN1 reaction carbocation is formed as the intermediate. So the shape of the carbocation is planar where the nucleophile can attack either from the front side or from the back side. Therefore, we'll get two products. One will be with retention and the other will be with inversion of configuration. So a mixture of retention and inversion is formed in the case of SN1, that is, a racemic mixture is formed. Whereas in SN2, always the attack of the nucleophile takes place from the backside. So it will be, the product will be exclusively an inverted product. So these are the differences between SN1 and SN2 reactions. Hope you have understood SN1 and SN2 reactions. Thank you for watching.